Hey guys, welcome back! I'm Winter and today I'm going to be painting one of my all-time favorite Danganronpa characters! I'll also be sharing my personal thoughts and experiences on going to art school and if I think it's worth it or not. Also, watch me struggle with figuring out how to use gouache because this is my first ever time actually using it. If you guys couldn't already tell by the thumbnail of this video, my favorite Danganronpa character is indeed Ibuki! After I finished playing D2, I just got really attached to her. But like, come on, who doesn't love Ibuki? She's what I call the 3 G's. Girl love, girl boss, girly pop. That's best girl right there. Where my Ibuki love is at. Every time she pops up on screen, I can't help but be like, damn, what gay shit is she gonna say next? Ibuki, Celeste, and Kaede are probably my top 3 favorites. Also, Peko Pekoyama. Peko, I love you! Like, do y'all see her? Do y'all see her? I just find myself drawing Ibuki the most often because she's kind of like a comfort character for me, and I just love her design so much. It's so fun and easy for me to draw. Like, I don't have to think too much about drawing a super detailed, intricate outfit, accessories, and all that other shit. NANI? Okay, I have no idea why the dark blue gouache came out the tube like that. If anyone knows, please comment if I should throw it out or something, because when I swatched it, it turned out fine, so I don't know if it's safe to use. Something I really want to do is make my own Danganronpa OC. I mean, I did try making one once in my sketchbook, but I haven't given her a name or backstory yet. The only thing I know is that I want to make her special talent like professional secretary who's also like a major baddie that flirts with all the girlies. I mean, I really do want to draw her more and flesh out her character. She's giving Office Siren Core Bayonetta vibes, but like also mint chocolate chip flavor. I just love her, so she needs to become my official Danganronpa OC. I just need to draw my OCs more in general. They don't get enough attention from me, as they should, because curse my hyperfixated brain. I can't help but draw a lot of fan art sometimes though, especially if I really love the character. Like, I will want to draw them a bajillion times. I do feel like that's kind of distracting me though from actually developing my own original characters. I have been keeping a sketchbook where I come up with my own stories and OCs, so hey, at least I am getting better at that. So I know that it may seem like I have a teeny weeny preference towards the female characters, and that's because I do. Come to think of it, I'm not even trying to hide that fact. I think we can all clearly see that 90% of my art is just pretty anime girls. Okay, anyways. Like I mentioned earlier, this is actually my first time trying out gouache. I'm not really familiar with any techniques. I'm literally just winging it throughout this video. So please don't treat this as a how to use gouache effectively video because it's simply not that whatsoever. I just kind of treated it like how I use watercolor or acrylic. The thing I noticed that I really like about gouache though is how it allows you to layer paint on top of each other, which allows me to easily paint over any mistakes I made. And depending on how much water you add, the consistency changes too. So when I started applying the base colors, I made sure to water down the gouache a lot so it covered more surface area. Then later, when I wanted to layer a color on top, I'd only add a teeny bit of water. One thing that I always make sure to do is to mix my paint to make new colors. I almost never use the color as it comes from the tube. Mixing the colors just make them pop off way more. Like, trust me on this, bestie. If you're not mixing your paint, then what the fuck are you doing? Anytime I paint something, my palette always ends up looking messy as fuck. Like, I always need a big ass palette too, so I actually have room to mix all the colors I need to mix. Bruh, I remember in middle school, I used to use this koi watercolor kit all the time. I loved carrying it around, and I used the little squeezable watercolor brush. If anyone remembers these, you know how absolutely goated they are. Mine lasted me for the longest time too. Anyways, so one day while I was painting with them, one of my classmates came up to me and said that my watercolor kit looked crusty as fuck. And she told me I should probably clean it. She showed me her watercolor kit. And guys, when I tell you that shit looked almost brand new, I'm sorry, but if your watercolors look almost brand new and untouched, it means that you're not using that shit to its fullest potential. Like, you need to abuse the fuck out of the colors if you want your art to have that, pop and dimension. I'm sorry, but your art is most likely going to end up looking duller and flat if you're barely mixing your colors. Also, please don't take this as me telling you guys how to paint or how to color your art or any of that. You guys can use the colors however you like. You shouldn't let me or anyone tell you how to make your art. Experiment with what works for you and what you're happy with. These are just some tips that I implement into my art, and in no way is it the right way or the only way. The last thing I want to do is sound like your high school art teacher who made you hate making art because they were always on your ass about the right way to make art. Nah, fuck that. Your art practice is for you. It's for you to explore different techniques, and you should only take advice that you feel like will actually benefit your art in some way. Which brings me to what I actually wanted to talk about in this video, and it's the century-long question of, do I think art school is worth it or not? I'm gonna say, oh hell no! But there's a reason for this, you see. And so I never attended any 4-year institutions. I did, however, spend 4 years of my adolescence getting an arts education at an arts high school. Yeah, I came out of high school feeling burnt out and anxious as fuck about drawing. I remember my hand used to literally shake whenever I'd pick up a pencil with the intention of drawing in mind. I am grateful for the technical skills I learned, as well as time in my school schedule to take art related classes, but it just didn't help me in actually cultivating my own style or the character based work I truly wanted to do. I know a lot of you guys can probably relate to this too. Not to mention that my teachers were literally the type that absolutely hated students drawing in an anime style. If you submitted an assignment in an anime inspired style, they'd give you a bad grade and criticize you for it. I remember quite a few students in class also like drawing anime, and a lot of us kind of grew up being very inspired by all the different shows and manga. We grew up drawing characters we'd see on screen, designing our own, and developing our own art style over time. I remember for one assignment, my teachers wanted us to do a drawing for this thing called Sister Cities. Basically, Sister Cities is like this annual international art contest for art students in different schools around the world. The theme for the contest that year was One World Out of Many We Are One. So most people, just drew like flags connecting in different formations. But oh my gosh, I remember this one kid just drew this big titty anime girl holding the earth in her hand just in spite of them. He ended up getting in trouble for it, but like mad respect to him for doing that. Like damn, I wish I had the guts to do something like that, but of course I was the goody two-shoes type back in high school who'd always finish all of her assignments and everything. I would always just play it safe and make art that I knew would get me a good grade. I took classes like design, drawing 101, photography, sculpture. I remember during that time, I focused on drawing a lot of realism, environments, still lifes, and finishing pieces for my AP art portfolio. But it started becoming draining as hell because they'd assign some of the most boring, pointless shit ever. My art teachers were kind of weird. I remember one time they gave us this one assignment where they wanted us to draw our feet. You'd think they'd tell us to draw our hands or something, but no, it specifically had to be our feet. And the worst part was that they wanted us to also take a reference picture of our feet being reflected onto a mirror. So they wanted a 3-dimensional, realistic ass mirror reflected drawing of our feet. I remember being so innocent at that time too. Like I had no idea how weird that was until my boyfriend pointed it out. Anyway, since my art teachers hated anime art and didn't consider it as actual art, I didn't draw much of it during that time, especially after I graduated. But now, after all those years, I've completely embraced my anime art style. To me, it kind of feels like I'm healing a part of my inner child. After all, I wouldn't be drawing today if it weren't for the countless anime and manga that inspired me when I was a kid. I also feel like my more anime art style connects me with more people with similar interests as me. I firmly believe that it's really never that serious. Art shouldn't feel like a chore. It's supposed to be fun and whimsical and magical for the most part. As artists, we need to reclaim our power back, goddammit. You've got to find joy in the process, so draw whatever the fuck makes you happy. For me, I learned to just draw what I like, what I'm interested in, what inspires me. And most of the time, I just want to draw cute anime girls. What's wrong with that? I just want to have fun and be silly. And this is coming from someone who used to do almost strictly realism back in school. I had the mindset that realism was the epitome of artistic talent crammed into my tiny head. To the point where I had to spend a bunch of time just unlearning it all and having to reteach myself how to stylize my work more so I could go back to my more cartoony anime-inspired style. Being able to stylize your art is a whole separate drawing skill to have. It's like another muscle that you need to develop over time. Like, have any of you guys ever tried to make your art more cartoony after drawing realism for a while? Shit is not easy. Also, granted, if you are trying to get a job in art, or you're doing commission work for someone, or trying to get into an art school, then yeah, you would have to focus on creating art that will meet certain requirements. But if not, then don't let anything stop you from creating the art that you're actually passionate about. Yeah, studying techniques and drawing from life is important, but that can get a little boring, you know? Spice it up a bit and think about what actually really inspires you. There's also so many online resources out there too if you do want to improve your technical skills. I don't think anyone should be out here having to pay an arm and a leg for tuition. The traditional art school experience has failed so many of us creatives because the reality is, unless you're getting your expenses magically paid somehow, at least for those of us living in America, you're going to be drowning in student debt. And all of us know, or should know, that we don't need no fancy schmancy looking degree to be an artist. What is it even going to get us in the end? All for what? Just for us not to be able to get a minimum wage job with a whole ass bachelor's degree? For them to tell us we need like 3 years of experience for an entry level job? How do you guys expect us to get the experience we need if y'all aren't even willing to hire anyone in the first place? Also, if you have gone to art school and you truly feel like it did benefit you, then all the more power to you, girly. I'm not here to discourage anyone from going to art school. Like, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of artists out there who, you know, really do benefit from being around like-minded individuals and just improve faster when they receive actual in-person feedback in the classroom setting. But please really consider why you're going. Okay, why did I put the sticker so crooked? I don't know. I got lazy, I guess. she's fixable though. We can fix her. Okay, that's a lot better. There's just such a vast wealth of knowledge out there, and there's always room to learn and grow. You know, maybe instead of spending hundreds and thousands of dollars lining the pockets of some crummy art institution, why not pay for an online course from an artist you admire? Or, you know, you don't even have to pay anything either if you don't want to, because there's countless free videos on here that could help you on your art journey. Guys, I busted out some stickers because I really wasn't sure what to do with the background. So I decided to just have some fun and make it kind of decor inspired. I don't really know. It's the girly pop nonsense. That's all it is. A lot of the really cute stickers that you see me using, I either got from the Japanese dollar store or just a random cute little shop I visited while in Japan. Actually planning on making a video about my 2-week trip to Japan, so hope you guys can look forward to that. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to make that video actually. So like I mentioned earlier, after I graduated high school, I didn't end up going to an arts university or college. I didn't have enough money, guys, or enough scholarships to attend one. However, I did go to a community college and took a few art classes there. All of them were online though, because this was during like peak of the global pandemic. But I do think community college is a great option for those who are lower income and want to save a little bit of money. This is all just what I personally think based on my own experiences. At the end of the day, I just want more artists to embrace their own unique style and way of making art and just go towards whatever genuinely makes you happy, because that's where the real fulfillment lies. Speaking of which, I'm really happy with how this came out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!